Hi guys, welcome back to RUE MORGUE TV. I am RUE MORGUE Executive Editor Andrea Subasati, and if you're looking to get your hands on a RUE MORGUE t-shirt like this one's a classic cover with artwork by Jason Edmiston, you can find these at Twisted Tees and only at Twisted Tees. We premiere a new design every single month. It could be a classic cover or original artwork from some of the best artists working in the field, so be sure to check us out in the link below and enjoy the episode, and we'll see you next time.
I'm David Liss. I'm the curator of the Museum of Contemporary Art, Toronto, Canada, and you're watching RUE MORGUE TV. Well, I work in the field of contemporary art. Since the 1980s, I've worked in most aspects of contemporary art. I started as an art handler, shipper, moving art around. I'm an artist myself. Writing. I write about art, art reviews, and I organize primarily, I would say in the last 25 years, I organize art exhibitions, curating, organizing exhibitions in cultural institutions, museums, developing programs around art exhibitions. Sometimes, let's say the general public's impression of the art world, I guess it often comes through the media, and I think not just the art world or any world. It's a lot of times it's perceived through stereotypes and cliches that may have some basis, but aren't necessarily that true. Sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, the art world's very elitist," and I said, "Well, compared to what other industry isn't elitist?" A ticket to a sports event in Toronto is very, very expensive. They're hard to come by, and you usually have to know somebody or be involved in some corporate structure to be able to get tickets. That's an elitist environment, if you ask me, but why don't we necessarily see sports as an elite environment? In the meantime, the number of art galleries, especially the commercial galleries that you have in Toronto, they're free.
Josephina? Hello?
Velvet Buzzsaw is a movie set in the art world where an artist, an unknown artist, a reclusive artist, dies, and somebody in the art world discovers all of the work in his apartment. The gallerist, there's also an art critic, everybody's amazed by this work, and then everybody's starting to see their opportunities on how they can benefit and profit from this artist, despite his request that this material be destroyed. And it seems to me then that these artworks, the artwork of the deceased artist and other artworks, installations and sculptures, start coming alive and killing people. So I think the movie is about revenge on these horribly obnoxious, greedy people. The way the art world is portrayed in the movie, I think, is fairly straightforward. Of course, it's, as I said, I don't think the movie is necessarily about the art world. So what they have, the art world, you know, people standing in for the art world in some basic way. Again, there's cliches in there, of course. All of these art people are, you know, very snooty and pretentious and super wealthy.
Critique is so limiting and emotionally draining.
There were a couple of things, details, I guess, in the movie that I didn't think were necessarily realistic. The lead character, the art critic, you see him shows up in the depths of the museum in the middle of the night, and the woman that's analyzing the paintings, the conservationist, is there in a dimly lit room. Now, first of all, that would never happen. Conservationists don't work all through the night in dimly lit spaces. An art critic or any other member of the public would never just be able to walk right in there in the middle of the night. So that, to me, it was kind of, yeah, but I understand it was for dramatic tone. And then I think the other thing that might be kind of crucial is the role that the critic played. He seemed to have this key role into whether or not this whole, let's say, the viability or the value of the artist's work was really going to be important. And I think it's been a long time, many years, maybe since the 1960s or so, that any one art critic or any 2 or 3 art critics have that kind of power. That just doesn't exist in the art world today. The one critic would say something that would either elevate or destroy an artist's career. That just is not realistic at all. The art featured in the film, I think, was of varying levels of quality, if you will. The artist who died, the outsider artist, was painting in kind of a historical manner, and it was also characterized as outsider art. So it's really difficult to say. I mean, oftentimes those kind of artists they're doing their own thing. It doesn't necessarily relate or compare to anything else. It's kind of outsider art. But other artworks in the film, I love the talking sculpture installation. I think it first appeared in Basel as this robotic sculpture, but then of course he suddenly appears in the storage and kills the art critic. I don't know, was that good art? I don't know, man. And the sphere that chewed off the woman's arm there. I don't know. It's hard to say. Again, to me, the film didn't really focus on those kind of things. I don't think it was about the art necessarily, and I don't think it was necessarily about the art world. I think it was about sort of a classic tale of revenge upon human greed. The title of the movie, Velvet Buzzsaw, to me seemed appropriate, I suppose. I mean, that's got a good, disgusting title for a horror film. It turns out it was one of the main characters who used to play in a punk band. But in the end, it was the Velvet Buzzsaw tattoo that killed that horrible, mean, greedy woman. So I think it all kind of came together at the end, yeah. I think the presumption in the movie about the artworks coming alive might be reflective of what we think of as the spirit of art, or let's say a metaphysical dimension to art. Art is about the human imagination. It is about the human spirit. And artists invest a lot of themselves into coming up with the ideas and creating the work. I would rate Velvet Buzzsaw, I would say a 4 out of 10. There's some good acting in it. There was the lead character, the art critic, I thought was quite good, and the woman that ran the gallery, who tried to have all the imagery removed from her life and forgot the one small last piece of art, the tattoo on the back of her shoulder. I thought she was a good actor, but in the end, I wasn't freaked out at all or scared. I don't know, as sort of a gory horror movie, I'm not sure. It wasn't that gory. Also, on a deeper psychological level, it didn't scare the hell out of me. It didn't disturb me. It didn't move me. It didn't necessarily entertain me. So I think, what the different criteria are for rating a movie like that, I would just use straight up my own personal taste or enjoyment of the movie. I just didn't think it was a very good movie.
A bad review is better than sinking into the great glut of anonymity.
Was that a joke?
Not that I'm aware of.
My name is David Liss, and you've been watching RUE MORGUE TV.
hands down, we'll do it again.
What's with the hands? Eh? Was I doing that throughout the whole time I was talking?
No.